Okay. Good morning, everybody. So today I am still feeling, again, I'm improving better than yesterday in terms of my bowel problem. I did have a bowel movement this morning that has indicated to me that my gallbladder is now happier than it was. And I don't know if that means that it's working, but it's not right now dumping a bunch of raw bile into my system that cannot be coped with. So I have managed to pass everything, and because the consistency and the properties and the color and whether it sinks or floats and all of that stuff has changed, I should be feeling much, much better very, very soon. What I'm left with is this feeling where the blockage must be, or partial blockage. I really do feel like it feels like a sprain. It feels like I've torn or pulled connective tissue, and it hurts a lot. Basically from my sacrum to my clitoris, the entire passage of basically the pelvic floor. My pelvic floor hurts. God. Okay, so yay me. Taking it easy yet again today. Actually, that's not even true. But I'm doing art today. I promise you, I'm doing art today. I am, okay, so when this last bout of bowel / back complication, who the hell knows what's going on thing first happened, I recorded myself on the toilet for about 10 minutes. And I recorded myself getting very faint, nearly losing consciousness from pain, the whole thing. Now, another thing that you need to know that might be helpful is in understanding how I see things is that I have synesthesia. Okay. I guess I'm definitely neurodiverse, right? Because I have all these weird things about how my mind works. All right. So my synesthesia is a mixing of the senses, and I do have synesthesia. I have some clues as to how that might have occurred in my, I do believe that I lacked oxygen at birth. I was born blue, kind of like this color here. And the cord, my umbilical cord, was wrapped thoroughly around my neck. So I did lack oxygen. And it was 1972. So, like, what did they know? Nobody really knew much of anything. And my mom was having a mystical experience, so she didn't take in very much of the side information either. But yeah, so I do know those facts, that I was blue and I had the cord around my neck when I was born. And all my life, I have gradually noticed little differences. So the first difference that I noticed, one of the first differences I noticed was in preschool, when the teacher would ask us all to close our eyes and to make a picture in our minds, to imagine visually. And I couldn't do it. I really, really, really couldn't do it. And I thought that everyone else could. And I know that everyone can to a greater or lesser extent. But mine is really towards the lesser extent, and that has not changed throughout my life. Even when I'm dreaming, I dream with sounds and conversations and knowledge, but very rarely with images. Although I do have some imagery in my dreams, and when I remember things, I can call up some shadowy figures, sometimes with colors, sometimes kind of just a very unsaturated color, like not real, you know? So it really is like reaching through a fog into fairyland to find a a vision like that. It's like looking through something. All right, so that's memories and dreams. And then when I'm trying to visualize for my painting, right, I'm an artist. Often what I'll get is an idea that's more of a sound or a movement or a flash of light. And I try to get that down on paper, and then I build out from there. So my artwork is an additive process, just like my sculpture artwork is a subtractive process, to subtract until I get to the form that's within the lump. And when I draw, I'm putting a skeleton down and then adding until I have a form. All right. Another way so that's aphantasia really, but the synesthesia is involves my sound, vision, and tactile or feeling senses. And so I figured out that when I see a rhythmic movement, like a repetitive movement of anything, I immediately hear, or I sense, I feel the rhythm, and through the rhythm that I feel, I can hear. Sometimes it's just a sort of a vague sense, but there are times where I hear it out loud, like right next to my ear. So movement goes to vision, goes to sound for me. And the next thing is that sound, it goes to feeling. So anything that I hear, I feel inside my body. And then the next thing, it goes first circle. Anything that I feel inside my body gives me a little flash of color, light, energy, something. When I close my eyes, I could make out the shape. So I'm developing it more and more, but getting this sense of inner vision from what I feel in my symptoms. And so that's what's happening when I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm vocalizing what I'm feeling, and I'm also through vocalizing it and hearing it, I'm reinforcing the image, the inner sight that I'm getting, that really gives me the sense of like where the blockage is and what shape the passage from my mouth to my anus, what shape that track is that the food passes through, and or that the energy passes through. Because yes, I feel it passing from the stomach to the small intestine. It gets lost in the small intestine. Nobody knows what's going on in there. And as soon as it hits my large bowel, I know it, and I feel it. All right, so I'm a weirdo. And that's probably partially why it's so difficult to explain these things to doctors, because I'm trying to explain my experience truthfully, but I'm not like anybody else. I think they think I'm crazy. Maybe I am a little bit crazy. It's okay. Definitely not like others, though. All right.